As any long-term subscriber knows, I've made several videos on My Forex Funds, and I've been working with them for a long time. I've been able to get some really good discount codes for you guys and some other codes as well. Those will all be in the description, just like all my other My Forex Funds videos. This video will be talking specifically about the evaluation style of account, and I've been doing this for over 100 days. So I've had quite a lot of success with it. We'll break down all that in detail in this video. Let's go ahead and get started. How does this all start? So I've been talking to Murtuza, who is the founder and owner of My Forex Funds, for a couple times before I made my first purchase with My Forex Funds. I wanted to interview him and get a feel for the company and really know much more about the company. And then on June 1st, I decided to pay for my own account with the evaluation accounts with My Forex Funds. I ended up paying for a $100,000 account, as you can see on here, and I chose the broker FXPig. That was back when they had that broker. Now they don't even have that broker anymore, but at the time that was kind of the go-to to go to. So I ended up going with that particular broker with them, and I ended up doing pretty well. I'll show all my account history through all my accounts in just a second, but just to show you that I was with them for about 120 days, and this is what the evaluation was. So it's a little more than 100 days. So for those of you who don't know what the evaluation is, I'm gonna go through it really, really quickly for you. If you've already know what this is, don't worry, it's gonna be really fast, just a good refresher, and you might even learn something. So as you can see here, the 5% daily drawdown is not gonna be the standard type of daily drawdown that most other prop firms have. It's a very, very unique style of calculating this particular daily drawdown. This particular daily drawdown is off of your equity or balance if either of them have 5%. Now, this is one of the cool things about My Forex Funds is as you build in your account, this daily drawdown is not a fixed number. So as you get a bigger account, you essentially have a larger maximum daily loss. The bad news is because it's equity as well. It's equity or balance. Most prop firms only use balance. So essentially the issue here is that if you are up a ton of money, let's say that you're up like $10,000 on account, and you have the day change happen while you're still up $10,000, and then the price comes back down significantly, more than 5% of your equity, whatever it was, then that would unfortunately be a violation of the account, even though you actually won the trade potentially, but maybe much smaller than you potentially could have. So if the day change, you were up 10, maybe you take out with only $2,000 profit, unfortunately that's considered a loss with this particular prop firm. Some of the good things about them is they have an amazing overall drawdown, 12%. That's pretty much as high as you get in this industry, which is quite amazing. And they only have an 8% profit target for phase 1 and 5% target for phase 2. They recently changed it where it's only 5 minimum trading days. This will lead to a little bit of confusion down the line, but I'll show you what this was. At the time that I took it, it was 10. And I actually had to wait for the minimum trading days, so this actually would have affected my account. I would have been able to pass a little faster because I was able to pass really, really fast. No trading restrictions. You can trade your way, your size, all this kind of stuff. We don't limit the way that you do it as long as you focus on the risk management. Of course, that's mostly, I assume, referring to the daily drawdown, which is really the unique thing with them. The last thing I want to touch on is these 6 points here. They have up to an 85% split. It is not an 85 split for your first month. You have to have a couple months in order to get to the 85. It does not start at 85. So it'll increase your profit split percentage up to 85. So that's something to keep in mind. It does get up there, but I think that's after 3 months, I believe. It could be 2, unless they changed it. So the largest targets, we already talked about that, with a low cost, high opportunity. They have really good prices. I'm about to show those in just a second. Free retakes and 1 free extension. So that's kind of cool thing is that if you need an extension and you're up, then they'll even give it to you, which is really, really nice of them. They have no trading restrictions. You can trade everything that the broker offers, which, by the way, they have their own broker now, which is really, really cool. And you get your fees back, of course. And if you use the code VVSC, you'll even get extra fees back. You'll get, I think it's 115% back if you win. You'll get extra money back as a refund, not just your normal refund if you win and have a first successful month. Here it is breaking down. You are paid 75% for the first month of your trading, and the second month, then it's 80 and then 85. So the first month is 75, and then 80 and 85 if you're able to continue with them, if you're able to continue being profitable with them. This is all stuff that I will be talking about in this video. I haven't asked them about the stuff that I'm going to talk about yet, but it's going to be really, really interesting once you guys see it because I've been trading with them for so long on a live account. So here's the evaluation schedule here. So you can choose which style of account you want, and here are the prices below. They're really, really competitive, so extremely good prices. Only $500 for the $100,000 is a very, very good price. If this was initial review, which if you guys want me to do initial review on My Forex Funds, even though I already work with them, let me know as well, and I can definitely rate all the criteria with My Forex Funds as well. Let me know if you guys want to see a video like that. You can check out the other ones and a little card above. So this is really the overall section for the evaluation style account. One thing that I want to point out to you is in the FAQ. If you go to the payout, if you search the frequently asked questions, their FAQ is a little different. You're really meant to type out things, and then it'll show you different statements from all the different styles of accounts. So they have 3 different styles of account. They have the rapid, accelerated, and evaluation. And then you can see which style it is and also general. And it'll say how often the payouts are and all that good stuff. It says you can send an email to this address to request being paid out every 2 weeks after your first month. So if I were to redo this again, I would not personally choose the evaluation. And I'll get into that in just a little second, but first I want to talk about this accelerated account. For me personally, I actually prefer, for my trading style, the accelerated model. Now, if I'm going to do another one, I'm definitely going to choose accelerated over the evaluation. But there's some big pros and cons with each of them. One of the huge pros of the accelerated one, I'm not sure where it is on the screen here, but you have no daily maximum loss, which is absolutely great because that's really the one thing that I really don't like about the My Forex Funds evaluation is their equity-based daily max loss. I really don't like that. It doesn't let you scale your account very large if it takes over a day to hold your positions like it does for my particular strategy. I trade relatively long-term. I like to hold from 3 days on average for my positions, roughly, give or take quite a bit. So this is only a 50% payout for the accelerated. I'm gonna go ahead and show you the normal program for the accelerated as well. This is the full rules for the accelerated. This is the main page for the rules. So they have up to 100 leverage, so it's either 100 or 50 to 1, depending on which of the two styles you have, and it's 50 or 10 for the overall drawdown as well. And they have no daily, which is super great because this one allows you to scale up your account. The 2 big caveats with this one is there's no shares trading, and you cannot have positions held over the weekend. The cool thing is you can trade crypto. That part I like. Crypto is allowed on this one, but not, unfortunately, shares. And you also cannot hold over the weekend. You can hold overnight, which is very nice. So if you scroll down just a little bit, there's no profit targets for payouts. You can scale up to success. You can scale up as you go through this, which is really cool. I really like the scaling option as well. If it was only one phase, it wouldn't be worth it. It would be better just to trade a normal account with high leverage, but because it has multiple scaling plans, that's what makes this so much better than trading your own account, than trading your own money. So for someone like me, I really like this size, this a lot. No lot size limits, no consistency rules, no daily drawdown. That's the biggest one for me. This is absolutely huge. You only have to use your total max drawdown. So it doesn't matter if your equity is really large, and it doesn't matter if that catches up or not. You can really scale this one really big. And I absolutely love that about this accelerated model here. So it's a 50% payout, so it is going to be less than the other kind. But again, you get paid from the very beginning, which is really nice. So there is no challenge with this one. There's no verification. It's just you're immediately funded, which is why it looks like it's really expensive. So if you see that it's for the 50K account, it's $2,500 roughly, rounding there. Then the reason why it's so much is because it's instantly funding, and this assured funding means that after scaling, if you can scale properly throughout the whole thing for different amount of phases, you can get up to this much account, this much account, this much account, and so on. And so one thing I immediately noticed here is that it's a huge difference for these two, which double compared to this one, which is more than double, and it really doesn't get that much bigger. So for a lot of people, I think one of the best options here is definitely to go for this one because it's still can get up to $1 million, and it's significantly cheaper than this one. So for anyone who is interested in this, I know this is a little side tangent of the video, I definitely would recommend going for this one here. Is the best in my opinion if you don't have a ton of money that you are willing to risk just because of the large maximums. For the emphatic, that's where pretty much everything's double: the leverage, the milestone targets, as well as the max account loss. It pretty much makes conventional for double. It's pretty much like the conventional just double, so you can even essentially double the account size in a way, which is kind of cool because then you can make up to $2 million on account, which is really cool. But of course, it is very expensive as well. Most people can't afford that, which is very understandable, but it's a good option to have there, and I really like it. But again, this one and this one are so similar, and it's less than half the cost. So this one really looks like a great option. I might go with that one pretty soon. So let's go talk about their dashboard. This is the My Forex Funds dashboard, and as you can see, I have 3 different account numbers here, one for each of the phases. So they do give you a new account for each of the phases that you use. The phase 1, phase 2, and the funded account, they'll give you an account for each one. So here's the first one. You guys have already seen from this video right here. You guys saw me complete the challenge phase. This is the challenge. You had to make $8,000 on account. You had to make 8%. So I was able to do that pretty easily. As you can see, not much drawdown whatsoever at any time. It was pretty much just a straight line up. And this was a really, really good trading moment for me. It didn't take me very many trades at all. Lot size is not completely accurate if I remember correctly. And this days elapsed is not going to be an accurate number. That's days elapsed from the first trade, I believe, not from the starts nor anything else. Of course, this doesn't even show that. This was one in the minimum amount of trading days. I made a whole video dedicated to this. It won in 10 days, as you can clearly see here. So since I already made a video about this, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the phase 2. As you can see here, it looks really, really interesting. It makes it look like I lost a ton of money here when all went down to 0. That of course didn't happen. This account was just reset. I did not lose literally all the money in this account. Of course not, that's ridiculous. For this one, it says 20 total trades, which is accurate. I know it's gonna be really, really hard for you guys to see, but fortunately I made another video on this one as well, separate from the last one, a video, as you can see right here. So it wasn't quite that many total lots. Lots, what is a lot in terms of an indice? I'm an indice mostly trader, so that's not going to be quite an accurate number for me, because what is a whole lot? It depends on the broker. So it's been 90 days since this account was in roughly passed as well. For some reason, I decided to trade 1 extra day for this account. No idea why, but I made the profit target. No problem with this one as well. So it's a total of 13% total wins so far, with pretty much no drawdown the entire time, which is really, really cool. I'm pretty proud of myself for this one. And then the big one, this is the one that I really have to explain. This is an account that I'm definitely not a perfect trader. And as you can see, I ended up losing this account. And at first glance, you might be thinking, how is this a loss? You are pretty much where you started in terms of the equity. Of course, I had a big drop here, but big increase and big drop in the equity. It's a little less than $1,000 of total loss from the beginning, cumulative. I did have a pretty bad streak as well for a little while, but of course I was able to come back from that, then went to a net even. And on my other prop firm account, yes, I have a lot of prop firm accounts, for those of you who don't know, that's one of the big reasons of why I end up having this issue here of what happened. So there's 3 main things that caused this to happen, for that to become an issue to the point where I lost the account. So as you can see here, unfortunately, I do have a violation of this. Like I said, not a perfect trader, don't claim to be. Was doing pretty good for a while. Unfortunately, even though I was been trading this for 65 days, I never received any emails or anything asking for a payout. And this is definitely, I'm not trying to blame them at all. I would have appreciated an email saying, hey, it's been 30 days. Do you want to receive a payout now, or do you want to keep letting it grow? That would have been extremely nice. During the 30-day mark, I definitely was in profit for all of this whole section here. And even after that, even very recently, the equity was in profit for several different days. Again, every dot is a different day. This is not per trade like you can see on other dashboards. These are a ton of days. That's why that's what it looks like a bunch. It's just I've been trading this for quite a long time. And I've been trading for so long that I kind of forgot how much time has passed. I've been trading a whole bunch of other prop firm accounts as well, where I kind of lose track on the exact parameters of each one. I try to just get 10% on all of them, even if they don't need it, or I do a couple other things like that. And that's definitely my fault. Definitely do not blame them at all for that. And you can see all the statistics here and everything, but we don't really need to go into all of that. It's just not that important. You can pretty much get a really good gist from this. I think it'd be kind of boring, to be honest. But here's the big reason why I thought that I could do this. So I thought, according to this post, if you can see here, this is the My Forex Funds Instagram page. There was a post they made a couple days ago. As you saw, the loss just happened as well. Minimum trading days now 5. Okay, that doesn't really affect me because I already have a funded account. Unlimited hedging is allowed. Now, for some reason, when it says hedging here, unlimited hedging is allowed. For some reason, I thought that meant that now you can trade the drawdown, as essentially hedging the drawdown. I thought if I'm up a whole bunch, I thought if I'm in profit, if I have a very large equity amount, as you can see here, I was in profit by over $10,000. So I thought, well, that's kind of a one way to define hedging. I wasn't sure if that was it. I really should have, well, it says a link. It's not really a link, it's a URL, because it's not, you can't click on this. It doesn't do anything, even on the computer, also on the phone, also not a link either. But you can copy and paste this link, and it does take you somewhere where they describe in a little more detail of this change that actually is taking place. And it's more talking about the hedging in regards to now you can trade both a buy and a sell on the same pair at the same time, not from my understanding at least, but you still, unfortunately, have to adhere to the equity and balance daily loss requirements that they have for their unique situation, which is going to be very different from other firms. But that's what they have here. Like I said, guys, I'm not a perfect trader for the reason that I spoke about earlier. I did have this, namely that I was managing probably too many accounts all at once. I also have a system that will copy trades between accounts, and that ended up failing and causing my whole thing to go out of whack. And I've been out of a copy trader for quite a while. And so now I'm just doing it all manually. And this really got in my head that I was just treating every account like an FTMO account. Like, this is the industry standard. I just treated it like an FTMO account, it'd be fine. And it was too big. And you guys can see that it didn't work out because the previous day equity was $104,000. And then the next day's, the lowest equity on that day was $98,000. As you can see, that number right there. And apparently that's a violation, which I understand. So unfortunately, I did have that violation, but it's fine. It's not a big deal. I was able to come back on my other accounts that were following the same trades. Those trades actually won. I got into some DAX. I don't usually trade DAX, but VVS traders, shout out to Barrett, was trading some DAX, and I was like, well, that's probably a good thing to do. So got into those and currently up on those positions, up more than this would have been in a loss anyways. So unfortunately, because of the specific rules that My Forex Funds has surrounding the style that they count the daily drawdown for, unfortunately this was going to be a violation on the account, which I understand. I'm not trying to blame them. This is definitely my fault, but it happened, unfortunately. So it's a live account, and we realized that this is something that happens. And this just says, make sure that you reset. If I wanted to, I could use this link right here to get a discount off of a new account, which I'm about to show you what that means. So I click the reset fee here, I select all options, then I can, you have to choose your same account size, so I got 100,000. So it'd be a little cheaper for me if I wanted to reset the account, but honestly, it's not even that much of a discount. And I do personally prefer other styles. I like being able to increase when I'm up a whole ton of equity and I don't see any sign of the equity coming back down to break even. I'll usually put on a stop profit on there and just let it run and be able to add on more positions and just scale it, balloon it up into a huge profit. That's what I like to do. That's my personal trading style. So I'm actually probably not going to do another evaluation account with My Forex Funds. I am interested in their accelerated model, but again, they have that weekend rule, which I really don't like. I like to be able to hold over weekends, and unfortunately you can't do that with the accelerated one. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do that necessarily. If we scroll down a little bit more, I asked them for clarification on this. For the account reset, if paid, does it reinstate the funded live account that I already had, or reset me all the way back down to the challenge and I have to prove myself through eval phases 1 and 2 before being funded again? Unfortunately, as you can see from AJ, I don't know why AJ is introducing himself to me. I've talked to him a couple times already. He's a pretty cool guy. He introduced himself here and he said, you'll be given a new account with new login credentials. You'll be starting from phase 1. So I'm not interested in starting from phase 1. If this was instead starting from the same phase, then I definitely would be interested in. If it was still a live account, it's definitely worth the cost. But unfortunately it's not, so I don't want to spend another 90 or 60 or however long it takes, how many days it takes to get a new account on this particular model, because I can't even scale it afterwards anyways. So unfortunately I'm going to decline this particular offer, but I really still can recommend My Forex Funds as a good prop firm overall, for sure. Please don't take this the wrong way. I still like the prop firm. I still think it's up there. My listing maybe changed a little bit now that I've really experienced this for myself, of how annoying it is to have to keep that in the back of your head. Like, you have to look at your daily equity to know how much you can enter, and you have to calculate all the losses, and the fact that they don't have CTrader yet. Maybe once they have CTrader, maybe we'll consider joining again, because CTrader helps so much with being able to know how much percentages everything are. Anyways, they only have MetaTrader 4 or MetaTrader 5, whatever it is. So it's just not going to work out, and so I'm not interested in continuing with the challenge one with My Forex Funds, unfortunately. But we'll see if I try out the accelerated one. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below on both the equity drawdown rule, the daily drawdown rule with the equity involved. Again, they're one of the only prop firms to have that. And also what you think of the challenge overall, and maybe you're doing the acceleration model instead. Maybe you like the rapid the most. Either way, all of the links will be in the top of the description below for all 3 of the types of offerings that My Forex Funds has. If you want to see me interview the owner of My Forex Funds and we talk about the accelerated account as it was coming out, check out this video right here. It's a really good interview. If you're interested in the accelerated model, I highly recommend that. That being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.